adventurers. Welcome to Endless Fridays with Nina, the travel podcast where we inspire, share, and explore the world of travel. I'm your host, travel enthusiast, and chief daydreamer Nina, and I'm thrilled to have you join me. Today we have a VIP boarding pass for you. Buckle up as we listen and learn about the culturally rich paradise of Portugal. Please give a warm virtual welcome to Aaron from Travel Jones.
Thank you for having me. It is great to be back. I'm Aaron from Travel Jones, traveler, blogger, and travel agent. I'm looking forward during my highlights, cultural, and dining experience with Portugal. Lena, that's all.
Awesome. So, Aaron, first of all, I want to thank you for returning. If you have not checked out episode one, Aaron was with us and he shared with us his Travel Jones travel agency services that he offers. So be sure to check that out if you have not already done so. So, Aaron, let's get into it. So, I wanted to bring you back as a guest so that I can ask you about your travel experience in Portugal. So, first things first, when did you make your trip there? What year?
Oh, that was 2022.
Okay.
I
What?
say that because I've been in a lot of places since then, but 2022, that year in particular, I left and I was gone for a few months, and, and that was one of the places I went to. I was there in Portugal for a month
Oh,
of
wow.
time. So
Oh, wow.
great place. I loved it.
So, what month in the year did you travel there?
But yes, that was April. April. It's kind of like their summers can get really hot. So April is that spring time. You're familiar with the spring air, so it's like it's cool. It can get warm, but not too warm. So I needed comfort. It's what I
Okay.
needed. So there's a nice breeze that comes off the ocean, and it gets warm, and it gets kind of cool too. So it's just perfect temperate, moderate weather, in my opinion, at least.
Okay. So, cooler temps, it's not super hot. Any rain in the April time frame?
It doesn't rain a whole lot. It does rain. This is not the raining season, raining season, but I take that back. The raining season does begin around that time, but when I went, it did not do that.
Okay. So, you got lucky.
The weather is a little unpredictable in that point. I went there in a transitional time, so it wasn't totally rainy.
Okay.
It rained.
Okay. So, why Portugal? What made you put that on your list of travels?
It sounds like you're asking me how it is that I choose to go where I go.
Mm, yes.
So, Portugal has always been one of those places I have wanted to go. The reason being is for the average American, it sounds like not like the normal place that you would go. I mean, you hear about Japan or South America or any place in Europe, saying like Italy or Paris, where the Olympics are right now. And I thought Portugal would be a great place to go, considering it's different and kind of off the beaten path. Along with, I wanted to go there for a New Year's thing, but that has yet to happen.
No.
But originally I wanted to go there for New Year's, but I wanted to go somewhere different that was sort of not the place that everybody else goes to.
Okay. Not the norm because like you said Hawaii Japan, shoot, Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica is probably a big one too. Italy,
Absolutely.
Paris. Yeah, so no, I'm with you on that. So it's not a
This is
place.
not to say, that's not to say there's anything wrong with those places.
Right, right.
But
But
it just
Portugal,
means something different.
right, Portugal is not a place that you typically hear people talk about, at least on the North America side. So, for travels. So no, I'm with you there. How was getting there? So you're leaving from the Americas. How was getting there? How long was the flight? Was it long?
Actually, it was not that long. I think my overall flight time was about 8 or 9 hours,
Okay.
but this is with connections. So I flew out of Detroit into Philadelphia. From Philadelphia, I went straight to Lisbon. So from Philly to Lisbon, I believe, is somewhere around 6 or 7 hours. So it's really not that bad,
Okay.
especially if you're in business class. You can get down, and it's not bad at all.
Okay. Main language. Is it Portuguese and English, or what are the main languages that they speak there?
You fly into Lisbon, you'll hear everything.
Okay.
The Portuguese obviously speak Portuguese, but they also speak English. So it's basically like you can get away with not knowing Portuguese there.
Aaron, what are three things that you would suggest our viewers do when traveling in Portugal?
Wow, that's a great question. I would definitely say see Sintra. Sintra, there's a castle there that would intrigue all of your old world architectural needs. Like you want to see castles and all of that beauty. I mean, you'll see a lot of that within Portugal to begin with, but that is definitely the place you want to see that. Next, besides going to Lisbon, Lisbon is beautiful all on its own. I would definitely tell someone to go to not the, but Algarve, city Algarve. It's a basically beach town. If you go there, if you're looking for sun and the water and all that kind of stuff, I know you like that.
Yes.
I like that stuff too.
Okay.
But if you go there, you'll get that there. And I think that's probably why I talked to people while I was there. They were saying that Portugal is basically the California of Europe, which I'm not sure that I can agree with that, but I understand what they're getting at. Next, I would tell someone to go to Porto. Porto, if you think about this, if you've ever heard of port wines,
Mm.
this is where all of those wines come from. Porto.
Okay.
They're very sweet, very, very uh, dessert oriented wines, and they're full bodied, right? But if you want to go there and see how that's made and do some wine tasting, that's definitely a great place to go for that.
So, a couple questions. The city that you mentioned that's the beach area, is there like a arc
Dark,
rock near the beach?
dark rock.
Yeah, is there like a arc rock? I'm
Now, without having gone there myself, there is one there,
okay.
but I can't tell you much about it because I have not been
Okay. Okay. I was just, but there is one there. Okay. I was just wondering because I was looking at pictures of Portugal just on the internet and I saw one and it was of like an arc rock near the ocean, and I didn't know if you happen to have seen that spot. It looked nice, so that's why I was asking. I was going to ask as well about the castle. Is it a public castle where you can actually go inside, or are you only able to view from the outside?
You can go inside and walk around. I believe that castle also has a restaurant within. Don't quote me on that, but I've seen this. Um, but you can go in there. That is not an issue. You can go in and explore and see all the things that you want to see.
Okay. And then as far as the wineries, is it in a area where you can hop from one winery to the other? I know in a few states, in the
They're
Americas,
yeah,
they're
they're usually
clustered,
pretty far
right?
apart, and they all those grapes take a lot of space.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So they're far apart. Okay. Okay.
but there are tours you can take, and this is not something that you should worry about if you're worried about time. If
Okay.
that's one of your concerns.
Okay. So for someone traveling there, and I know everyone's different, what's the minimum amount of time you would suggest to stay there to, get a good feel for the area and take in some sights? What's like the minimum amount of time you would suggest someone going to stay?
And
Not a month. Not everybody can do a month.
okay.
For us average folks.
Okay. Well, I think you're okay with a week. If you can get two, definitely do two. Uh, the reason being is that although Portugal is a small country, it's still big for just like regular travel. So let's say that you want to go to, giving you an example here, like you want to go to San Diego, but then you want to see Napa Valley, and then you want to see the San Francisco Bay Area Bridge, right? So if you have a week, is it possible? Yes, but you'll also be running a lot in order to accomplish all of those things that you want to see. But again, I say if you're going to go somewhere, definitely have a plan and map that out so you can kind of give yourself time to adjust to all of those things.
Is there a time difference between Eastern Standard? Okay, what's the time difference?
Yeah, they are 5 hours. They are 5 hours ahead of us
Okay,
in the Eastern Standard Time Zone.
okay, okay.
So it's a little bit of an adjustment,
Hmm.
but they over there. I can say that they don't go to sleep very early.
Oh, okay.
So
So they're
you're on a different time.
okay. So
Wait,
they're night owls and nightlife is a thing there.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So what is the nightlife like? Is it clubs? Is it bars, lounges? Do they have like jazz clubs or anything like that?
All the above.
All
You
of
can
them.
find all of that there. Like me personally, I don't go to those places very often, but I did see them. There are clubs there. There are uh, bars that just they're open and they serve great food and great drink.
Okay.
So if you're looking for that, it's there. You don't have to worry about not finding what you're looking for.
Okay. So speaking of great food and drink, what
Ah,
cuisines would you recommend to try? Or just tell viewers about what they're known for.
they are known for bacalhau. So just giving you a little Portuguese lesson here.
Say it again.
Bacalhau is it's pronounced bacalhau.
Bacalhau.
Bacalhau. Bacalhau.
Bacalhau. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what's in it?
So what that is, it's fish. It's codfish, is what it is. Um, a lot of their dishes are centered around codfish,
Okay.
and this is not to say that this is not all they have, but a lot of their traditional dishes are centered around cod.
Okay.
Uh, Something that I really like is pastries de bacalhau. Like a uh, how do you expect? How do you say this? It's do you are you familiar with like salmon cake?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not that, but it's similar in the fact that it's a breaded, a deep fried breaded codfish,
Okay.
and it's kind of like it gets mixed with uh, potatoes, I believe. But anyway, you
Sounds
taste
good.
this and you'll love it. I keep eating these things. I found those out in Portugal, and then I went to Brazil and I saw that they had them too. I ordered them, and I can't stop eating them. So
Sounds good.
you'll love those as well. They pair very well with green wine, by the way.
Okay. That
If
sounds
you're a wine drinker, right?
yeah. And I'm a potato lover and a seafood lover, so that sounds delicious to me. What do they season? I mean, is there certain seasons they use for that?
The seasoning,
Hmm.
I cannot tell you. I honestly
Okay,
don't know. If
I'll have
to be
to
honest,
I'll have to do some investigating to see if I can potentially make that at home. So,
you can. Ironically, I did get a cookbook for Portuguese food.
okay.
I have yet to look at it and hear any of these things, but the
Mm.
information is out there if you really want to taste it without having to go there.
Okay, so maybe you can share a good recipe out of that book that you have not opened yet.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. What about desserts? So I am a sweets person and I like to try different desserts when I go to different countries. Um, what type of desserts do they have?
I'll tell you this. If you go to Lisbon, if you walk around, especially around the touristy areas, you'll see bakery after bakery after bakery. There's many of them,
Okay.
and they have plenty of sweets for you. There's one that sticks out in my mind, and I believe it's called Eti de Nada, and it's basically like it kind of looks like a little cake with
Mhm.
some cream in the middle of it. It's delightful. I don't know how else to explain this to you, but it's delightful. You want to try this,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
Please do that.
Okay. Okay. So does it come in like different flavors or um like
There was
chocolate?
different flavors that I had other than the cream. The
Okay.
cream, it's not.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I imagine that there is, but again,
Okay.
this is I know.
Okay. So I'm going to have to look into that as well to see if they have like different flavors. I know some countries they don't use a lot of sugar. We do in in the Americas.
Oh yeah, we're
And
hyper on the sugar.
yes, and then also sometimes chocolate is not a thing. So, and that's like it's my go-to sweet is anything with chocolate. So,
There's
um,
chocolate over there too.
okay, so they do have
You
that.
will like that. Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about the chocolate. If you have a sweet tooth, you can get fulfilled. Don't worry.
um, any anything that you experienced over there that was like a surprise to you or just a wow, like this is new. I've never experienced this before. Anything like that?
A surprise. Well, I mean, being there in general is a surprise. I mean, when I go to places, I'm really seeking out the culture uh, to see what I can find out, and then basically learn about them and learn about myself along with it. But to say that something surprised me,
So, so can I interrupt for a minute?
oh, please.
So just to give you my share of a surprise when traveling.
Okay.
I have traveled to Thailand.
Ah,
Beautiful place. Beautiful place. But I was surprised because the public restrooms are literally a hole in the ground. Um, and you have to pay for toilet paper. Yes, you have to pay for toilet paper.
wow.
That was a
Okay.
surprise to me. Not a norm in the Americas. Another surprise when I was in Germany. The restrooms, you have to pay to get into the public restroom. You have to pay.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Okay.
Another surprise. In the Americas, public is free. So, yes. So just to give you my share of a few surprises while traveling. And funny, those are both restroom related. So,
Well, using the restroom is very important, so I understand. That would come as a surprise, if you go somewhere, you're so used to saying, "Hey, where's the bathroom? Can I use the bathroom?" And you go, and then it's like, "Hey,
hmm. And
okay,
it's funny because on the Thailand trip, I was with a travel group, D9, shout out to them, great travel group. Um, we decided to make sure that we had toilet paper handy with us when we were going on our tours and excursions. So that's how serious a restroom is in Thailand.
that is good to know." I will take that into account because I have not been to Thailand. I'd love to see it. Uh, wow. Okay, so but to answer your question about something that's surprising and different, I can tell you that going to a restaurant in Portugal, things move a little bit slower.
Mm.
So to say that you go to a restaurant here in the States, I mean, things are usually popping pretty fast where you order something and 15 minutes later, it should be on your table. And then shortly thereafter, you got a check coming. It's fast like that, right? Would you agree that
Yes.
that's how it is?
Hmm.
Well, in Portugal, not like that. You will sit there unless you flag down your waiter or waitress. Uh, the food may take 30 minutes to come. And
Mm.
while you're sitting there, I mean, you can enjoy some wine or water or whatever the case you may be drinking on. Um, Also, uh, there's bread sitting on the table. You don't have to pay for that bread unless you eat it. If you eat that bread that's sitting on the table, they charge you for it.
Okay.
So, whereas we have things that may be complimentary at our restaurants, it's
Yes.
not there.
Yes. Yes. You are.
Now, so this is not to say that it's terribly expensive. It's not, but
Hmm.
just know that
Okay.
going in.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Going back to, sorry, go ahead.
it's not like the Americas where they bring out bread for you to, start your meal off. And
Yeah, it's complimentary
okay.
here.
Yeah.
When you go there, the
Okay.
bread's sitting there. You can eat it, but they'll charge you for it once you start eating it. It's kind of like being in a hotel where there's a mini bar. And
Mm,
if you touch it,
you
you
pay
get
for it.
charged for it. Uh, but going back to the speed things, how fast things move. Once you eat your food, you can sit there and sit there and sit there, and you won't get a check. You not. I'm trying to say this. You might not see your waiter anymore, but you'll have to go and flag them down and say, "Hey, can I get my check?"
Okay.
Um, on top of that, once you get it, they may ask you if you want coffee. Now, that's something strange to me. Like, I don't really understand the concept of drinking coffee after the meal,
Mhm.
but they will offer you coffee right after you finish.
Okay. So I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't need it
Neither am I.
anytime. But yeah, I don't understand that thought process either. But I don't know. Maybe coffee goes well with dessert. I'm not sure. Or maybe for some, coffee is their dessert. Maybe.
I
So
think I think they're just a coffee drinking country,
okay,
along with wine and things like that. I mean, these are things that's a part of their culture, so they just do it.
okay,
So I can't speak directly to that because I'm not a Portuguese, but I do have some Portuguese friends that I should probably ask this question.
okay. How do you say hello or goodbye in Portuguese? Do you know?
You can say hola or oi,
Hola,
hi, oi,
ole.
hola. Like Spanish. Spanish is hola, but it's hola in Portuguese as well.
Okay, okay. That's easy to remember. And then goodbye is
You can say ciao.
ciao. Okay. Okay. Cool. Um any animal experiences there? Like I know some
Are
countries
you
have,
asking about a zoo? I have not gone to a zoo in Portugal.
well, not even a zoo, but I know some countries they have, cats running on the streets, goats. Yeah, I'm just curious.
There
Just
are cats
any.
there.
There are
I
cats
will
there.
say that, yeah.
Well, and even actually even in Thailand,
Are you asking?
I was gonna say even in Thailand, in the restaurants, you will see a dog or a cat just in the restaurant. That's a norm.
So it sounds like you're asking about like feral nuisances. Like, are they
Well, no, not
just
nuisances. Some people like animals, but I mean, just in the walking in the towns and whatnot, do you see
I've seen a
animals? Do
few
you see you see
I've seen a
okay.
few cats.
Okay.
There's a lot of people with dogs. You see people walking their dog, but not like
Not
just
like
dogs roaming around.
roaming. Okay. Okay.
But you might see a cat here and there.
Okay. All
That's a
right.
thing.
All right. Just curious, like I said. And some countries have like community animals walking around. So I was just curious.
There's pigeons everywhere, by the way.
Pigeons everywhere.
You'll see
Okay.
pigeons. Yeah.
Did you did you have any pigeons poop on you?
Oh no.
No.
No, 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 no. Not in Portugal. That has happened to me before once in San Diego.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
I was on the beach and eating some food and I got poop on my shoulder. Just
Oh,
the
okay.
strangest phenomena. I'd never had that happen before prior to that. That's weird. Get
Mm.
poop on you.
So what? So once in life, I did get pooped on by a bird. That was at the zoo. That was at the
Yeah.
Detroit Zoo. And
Okay.
I felt something and I did like this, and then it was on my hand. So that was pretty gross.
Yeah. Okay.
So anything else about Portugal that you want to share with the viewers? Anything, any like last thoughts about Portugal? So what I heard was they have like I guess I'll just say a range of cultural experiences that you can have there. Um, you're probably talking in order to take that in, if you can do a week or two, that'll get you acclimated to the culture there. Um, food and wine is delicious and a must try. And
Oh yeah.
I love the fact that, at least if you're in the Americas, it's not far. So you can get there, it sounds like, in less than 9 hours. So
Yeah.
for me, that's like ideal. If you're talking about, hey, I want to see a different area. I need to change the scenery. That's not super far. There is a 5 hour time difference if you're talking about Eastern Standard Time. So you do have to take that into consideration. Um, anything else? I just tried to sum up what the things that we learned from you today, Aaron.
That's a great recap. I would say if I'm going to add something, I would definitely say, from my perspective, culture is the biggest thing that I love to get from visiting another country. The people themselves are very, very kind. They're warm, and they will welcome you. So it's not one of those things where you kind of worry about, oh, there's an American here. I'm gonna be an outlander, someone that stands out, and I need to be afraid of these people. It's not like that. They'll welcome you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we
I do
appreciate.
have one more thing. One more thing. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I don't mean to cut you off,
Yes.
but so I follow you as well, Nina.
Okay.
So I've seen that you've been to San Antonio. Like I've been to San Antonio, but I've been there as an Air Force airman.
Okay.
So I didn't get to see it the way I really wanted to see it. I went through there for basic training. So you have been there as someone that's checking out the scenery and visiting things. I'd love to talk to you about that sometime.
Okay.
If you'll
Awesome.
have me back on the show.
Awesome. Yes, we definitely can do that. First, thank you for your service. On behalf of everyone, we thank you for your service. Um, but yes, I certainly can uh do that. I would love to have you back, and you can interview me on San
All
Antonio.
right.
So, the river walk in particular. So we can do that. I would love
Yeah.
to do that. Okay. All right. So, and there you have it, YouTube family. A big shout out to Aaron from Travel Jones. Thank you so much for stopping through. Until next time, keep those passports handy and your hearts wide open. This is Nina signing off from Endless Fridays. Live like every day is Friday.
Ciao, ciao. Greetings, everybody, and thank you, Nina, for having me. I am Aaron. I am from Travel Jones.
I did it again. Wait a minute. Okay, I gotta pause that.